for the next A final. But just to confirm, that previous A final, it was won by Waikato Diocesan. So I'm quite happy right now because that was my crew. But they did very well. Rangi, Ruru, superb race, and St Margaret's in the bronze. But what have we got next, Mark?
Yeah, no, looking forward to this one again. Boy, I say that every time there's a race coming up because everything does offer so much. So our next race, ladies and gentlemen, is the boys under 17 Cox State. Why is this important? Well, because this is a look to the future. Some of the kids or some of the students that we're going to see in this race clearly will be competing in the Maadi Cup final tomorrow. And this is often a really good sign of the depth that these schools do have, and they are some of the great schools. Otago Boys High School in 1, the Might of Auckland Grammar, 2 times winners of the Maadi Cup in Lane 2, Christchurch Boys High School in 3, St Bede's College in 4, King's College in 5, Hamilton Boys High School in 6, Christ College in 7, and the Might of Mount Abbott Grammar first ever winners of the Maadi Cup there in Lane 8. So all the great schools with all rich history and traditions, all showing their depth at under 17 level. So 2,000 metres, this should be an absolute cracker. St Bede's under Dale Marr, they've just continued to build their program. They're just starting to get that depth, aren't they? Very much one of the favourites for the Maadi Cup tomorrow. You can never rule out a Christchurch Boys High School crew. King's College Auckland, a real surgence as well coming from them. So looking forward to this. 2,000 metres is the journey for these young under 17 boys in this 8.
Yeah, certainly, and it is the crews in the middle there that have had fast times. So, like King's College won their heat, as we're just looking at them there, those white bucket hats, in a time of 6:08. St Bede's won another heat with 6:14, and then Christchurch Boys won their rep with a 6:09, and Hamilton Boys won a rep as well with 6:10. So very fast times from all of these crews. They'll all be looking to get their names on the Arthur Andrews Memorial Shield, which is currently held by St Bede's. So will we get 2 St Bede's in a row?
Well, yeah, in St Bede's, here we go. We do get underway, and we talk about the 8s, the importance of that first 500 metres. This is a boat you want to get up to speed. You need to get it up quickly. You need to get it up early. Really good start coming in lane 5 from King's College, as mentioned. Probably the smallest of leads at the moment. Really good start from Otago Boys High School down there in lane 1. So their strategy is to get their boat speed up quickly. The big yellow boat, that is Auckland Grammar School. They're in lane 2, but it is lane 5 at the moment. It is King's College out of Auckland who lead early.
Yeah, what a great lead Kings has got here. They just pushed right out off the start and up to about a third of a boat length, and they're moving every stroke. They get a few more inches. Second place, well, it's, I would say, maybe only just Hamilton Boys, but it's very, very close there between St Bede's, Auckland Grammar, Christ College. They're all up there. They're all in it.
Yeah, absolutely, and the big role here of the coxswains to make sure that those plans are basically being played out. And it's an interesting one here, and I'll ask you this one, Meg. You know, at the end of the day, you've got a race plan, but you're also in a race. You can't always control what your opposition's doing. How much room is there for movement in terms of changing the strategy based on what your opposition are doing?
Well, you've got to have a race plan, but it's got to remain flexible. So say maybe you've got to move in at the 400 gone to maybe push on to your race rhythm. But if you feel you need to do that a little bit earlier or a little bit later, you know, like depending on what's happening, that's absolutely what you need to do.
So King's College leading, Christchurch Boys High School down there in lane 3, currently sitting in 2nd place. And then maybe just on air outside, Auckland Grammar currently in 3rd, Hamilton Boys High School there in the mix too in lane 7, Christchurch College here closest to us in fact in lane 7, Hamilton Boys High School, the famous red and black there in lane 6. So very, very even, no real ascendancy being shown by any one particular school, but King's College have said we want to get out quick, we want to dictate terms, we want to ask questions of the rest of the crews early.
Absolutely, and Kings is doing a superb job in those white bucket hats. Of course, look at them all there. Their blades just get in the water beautifully. They get some good catches going there, and then they really bring that through to the nice swing we are seeing from them all. As we see Christ College push up into 2nd place. So Christ really making a move in that through this second 500 to assert themselves into 2nd place, leaving Hamilton Boys and Christchurch Boys currently battling it out for 3rd.
Yeah, Christ College, I think, have 2 crews in that Maadi Cup, so showing they've got real depth in their program, and this is again just a little bit of a look into the future. Interesting to see no Westlake Boys High School in this race, but certainly King's College, and they are doing a great job. That King's College crew is Elijah Narkle, Henry Mann, Oliver Popplewell, Sammy Taylor, Josh Haskell, Charlie Field, Jack Reed, Marcus McLeod, Aidan Miller is their cox. Their coaches are Harrison Elliott and Mark Clemo. So they are the athletes who carry the hopes of King's College. Last time they won a Maadi Cup was back in 1960. It's been a long time between drinks. They will line up tomorrow as one of the favourites.
As we get a nice close-up here of the St Bede's crew. St Bede's crew there, but it is still King's College. King's College with about a 3/4 of a boat length over Christ. Christ doing a fantastic job there in second. And Hamilton Boys just pushing themselves up into third, only just, though, over Christchurch Boys, and St Bede's currently sitting in fifth.
Yeah, again, Meg, I'll ask you this. So the coxswains are sitting there. Obviously, the more experienced ones can get a real feel of where the power is on this boat and maybe where perhaps things are not quite right. How much communication is going on collectively, and at any point do they signal out any individual role in terms of maybe just making some adjustment?
It depends really on what is required of the crew. So most of the time you'll be going for things that relate to the whole crew, but sometimes you know the right person. If you just rile them up in the middle of your crew, then they can get everyone else around them excited, and that can really lift the crew. It's about having your crew spiral up rather than spiral down, and this King's crew, that's what they did right from the start. They spiraled up into a great speed, and they've just held on to that.
Now, we have put a request out to Dunstan for bucket hats up here in the commentary. Have yet to get them. I might have to throw that invitation out to King's College. We just want bucket hats, folks, but it's King's College at the moment. But now, big challenge just starting to come, isn't it, from the likes of Christ College. You just sense they're just starting to up their rating. We know how tactical it is from 750 metres. 750 metres through to 1,250 metres or through to 1,500. This is where we start to see crews begin to make their move. In saying that, across the far side too, Christchurch Boys High School's just starting to dial it up, and you just sense the bow ball here of Christ College is just starting to lift a little bit higher than that of King's College. Yeah,
we are starting to see some really strong sprints here happen. We're now well within the final 500 metres, and we are seeing Christchurch Boys over the far side move up, and along with them is moving St Bede's and Hamilton Boys. So at the moment we've certainly got Kings out in front only by a length, Christ holding on to second, but we are seeing Christchurch Boys, St Bede's and Hamilton Boys really push up. Anything can happen in the final 250 metres here of the boys under 17 Cox 8.
But I think it'll have to be a case here of King's College starting to decelerate rather than necessarily the crews accelerating. So will fatigue be a factor? Now we just start to see Christ College beginning to push, starting to dial it up. Now Hamilton Boys High School throwing everything, throwing the gauntlet down, have taken it up another gear as well, currently sitting in third place. So that's come at the expense of Christchurch Boys High School, who are just somewhat struggling a little bit. So Christ College here. On their inside it is Hamilton, and then the race lead is King's College. Kings looking to try and just take control of this under 17-8, and they're doing it well, they're doing it comfortably. I can't see them being run down here, Meg. It's really a race for second and third. King's College will take it. It'll be Hamilton Boys High the silver, Christ College there in lane 7 will pick up the bronze narrowly over Christchurch Boys High School, and then St Bede's College coming down now across the far side, Mount Albert Grammar, and then the far side it'll be Auckland Grammar School. So the two Auckland schools finishing 7th and 8th respectively.
Yeah, what a finish that was there from Hamilton Boys. They really sprinted up. They had a fantastic wind on them to push up into second. But it really was this crew here, the Kings crew. It was their race from start to finish. They rode it beautifully. A well-executed race plan. They will all be very happy, all 9 of them, and their coaching team. And, of course, their whole team, their whole squad will be very proud of them for that win there in the boys under 17 Cox 8.
Yeah, you wonder how many of them, too, will step up to the under 18 8. Of course, they can race up in regards to being in that Maadi Cup final tomorrow, and if they are, I guess the key thing too is how well do they recover, how quickly can they recover, and make sure that they are dialed in tomorrow at 5 o'clock when it all comes down to the 78th running of the Maadi Cup. But I tell you what, it's when you look through that start list, it was the great traditional schools, wasn't it, showing that the big boats are well and truly alive.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're just going to take a little break now, and we will be back shortly just before 12:10 is the start time for the next A final, which is the girls under 17 Cox quadruple scull.